What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to ToyShopFab. And as you can see, we made it back to the shop after completing Hot Rod Power Tour in my 1993 C1500. Now, for those of you that are new, I spent the last 6 months building this truck. It's got a Junkyard 5.3 homemade turbo kit, some BTR goodies. I've had the whole front end on this truck tore down. I redid all the front suspension, did all my own wiring inside the cab out to the factory pigtail or bulkhead on the firewall for all the lights. But pretty much just gutted this truck and built it to what you see right here and what you saw on Power Tour. If you haven't, go check those videos out. Had a few hundred miles on the truck, 588 to be approximate, before leaving for Atlanta, Georgia. Managed to do a full almost 2,300 mile round trip in this truck without a single issue. And on top of all that, averaging 16.8 miles to the gallon. Now that is awesome. So, got in the shop. As you can see here, it had the front end up, hoods up. Yesterday, I did do an oil change on it. So it's got fresh oil filter. I did cut open the filter that was on it to check out the element. There were no bearing material, no metal, no shimmer, no shinies in the oil or the filter, which was awesome. I did do a video on that, but for whatever reason, my mic didn't work. But didn't miss much. Also fixed an oil on the dipstick. It actually showed itself about 300 miles home, because if you didn't know it, coming back is mostly uphill, and under load or acceleration, you get a little bit out of the dipstick. Drip down, hit my wrap on my crossover pipe there, so every time I came to a stop, I had an oil burning smell. It wasn't throwing enough to sit on the ground, just enough to hit the crossover pipe, and because of the wrap there, it held it in place. So, and that was caused by a dipstick cutting the O-ring while installing the dipstick. So we took that out, changed the O-ring, put a light film of silicone on there to help it seal up. Took it out on a test drive and sealed up. No more leaks. Even celebrated a little bit. I'll make sure to put at least that clip at the end of this video, because that one does have sound, and this thing sounds amazing at that RPM. So make sure you stick around for that. So, but since we got all that out of the way, got the test drive done, oil change is all good. Truck is just absolutely awesome. This morning I pulled into the shop, got the hood open, pulled out the co-pilot side spark plugs, pulled those out because we want to see how it's running. For those of you that are new, like I said, I did a lot of how-to DIY stuff on this truck. The injectors in this truck are they're stock truck injectors that I decapped. I actually have a little machine. Let's see here. Get a quick little shot of that I built. So there it is. It's sitting under the bench. Got all the stops for the jars. There's our fuel pressure regulator and all that stuff. But I built that machine so I could do cleaning and flow testing of fuel injectors. And it took me about 32 injectors to find a set of 8 factory truck injectors that I could decap. And they all average about 850 cc's. So it did take me 32 injectors to find that set of 8. So do not expect to just decap the ones you got and have them all match. They don't. They vary widely in flow rates. So, but all these flowed about 850 cc's at 58 psi. I have this truck turned down to about 48. Want to save on the pump a little bit because that is a rebuilt marketplace fuel pump. I'm cheap. So I find things that are cheap, eBay, broken, I buy them, try to fix them. But anyways, I wanted to see how this engine ran with our decapped injectors. And let me show you what our co-pilot side looks like. So let's get it on there. You can see they all have a nice little soot ring around the top. All the straps look fairly identical. There's also no excessive oil on the threads, which tells me we got good sealant on the oil. We got good valve seals. Rings are doing good. That side is running pretty darn good. for an engine that we built 100% here in this shop using just basic tools. So got the spark plug wires undone of the pilot side there. Spark plugs are still in place. We are going to get those out, lay them up on the table. Also going to grab this guy here. You can find this tool on eBay as well. Just look up Borescope. You're going to find this. I'll try to put a link to it in the description. We're going to get in there and basically see what the cylinders look like. Now, I've already done the co-pilot side. Cylinders all look pretty good. Definitely still a lot of cross-hatching left in those cylinders. So everything is looking really, really good. There are some spots, because you do know we just quick honed this thing with a 3-stone hone and then the dingle ball hone just to clean it up for the new rings. So there are some slight imperfections. I mean, nothing you wouldn't normally see from a typical junkyard build. So, and remember, there is no replacement for a good machine shop. If you want everything 100% true, take it there. This kind of stuff isn't going to get everything 100% at home, but it is good enough to run, have a lot of fun. Obviously, just made power tour in this truck, so everything is good to go. So yeah, what I'll do now is I'll get you guys hooked up, do a quick little time lapse, pulling these plugs out of the captain side here, get them up on the table so you guys can look at it, and then we're going to get you in there and with our little Borescope to see what each one of the cylinders looks like. So get you in the stand and go. Spark plugs are out and they all look really, really good. Pretty much identical to the co-pilot side. Give you guys a quick little glance. Quick little glance of that while it's on the table. So there is our pilot side there. Little soot ring all the way around. Straps look good. Electrodes on all of them look good. No excessive oil on our threads, much like everything you see on this side. So all that is running really, really good, which makes me extremely happy. Valve seals are working good. Rings are sealing up. So that, I mean, that's awesome. That's a win. Really is a win. So now I've got this little guy set up here on my intercooler. We're going to go ahead and stick it in the cylinders, see what they look like. Like I said, I've already done the co-pilot side. We're going to do the pilot side. See what the cylinders walls look like. See how they're shaping up. So far, the spark plugs tell us they're doing pretty darn good for a home-built engine. So, but let's see what the scope says, all right? So, they say, got this little guy here. Probably see us now. Yep, got it going on. So, go ahead and get this guy into our cylinder there. Take a look. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it on there, but there's the pistons at top dead center. Go ahead and wiggle that around a little bit so you can see a little bit of carbon buildup, but not going to see a whole lot of cylinder wall there. What I do see, there's a little bit of cross hatching there. That is the top of the cylinder. So go to the next one back, shall we? Get inside that guy, because this piston should be pretty much down. All right. Oh yeah, way down there. But if you look in close, there, right there. See that? See the little dark shades there? That's the imperfections I'm talking about for being honed at home. It's usually a good idea to have things, or a machine shop would usually use like a hone or a torque plate or something, get everything torqued. Just little imperfections of the cylinder when it's being honed without being under torque, but Still see cross hatching there. Everything's good. You can see all those guys there. Lots and lots of cross hatching on that cylinder. A little bit of carbon buildup on top of the pistons, but what do you expect with homemade decapped injectors? But for the most part, that cylinder is looking pretty darn good. So we're going to go back here to this guy here. This one's probably going to be up at the top. Oh, yeah. Right there. You can also see a little bit of a valve hanging down. That's what that guy is. A little bit of valve right there in the spark plug hole. But same case, a little bit of carbon. This one's kind of hard to pick up because it's so close, but there is some cross hatching left at the top of that one. So let's go back to our last guy over here. Get this guy in. And much like the other one there, you see lots of little cross hatching. A little bit of shade right there, right? Like I said, no big deal. But plenty of cross hatching, a little bit of carbon on top of the pistons. But for the most part, looks like they're in really, really good shape. Again, you guys, it's all home built, right? All did this at the house, in this shop, a hand tool. So for this engine to run like it does, it is doing really, really well. Now, some of those perfections, like I said, usually they get honed with like a torque plate or something because it puts the block underneath the bind it would be, or the torque or the twist, or it would kind of simulate having heads bolted on it before honing it. That way the metal and everything is where it would be once it gets torqued. But if you do it wide open, it's going to leave slight imperfections. So, but it's not, it doesn't really look like it's affecting us. All the spark plugs look good. Rings look like they're sealing. Engine's runs nice and smooth. So, and again, it's a junkyard build. It's a home built engine that we built to have fun with. I plan on doing drag and drive events with this truck. Definitely some upgrades I still want to do. We need to get both tires spinning in the back. A couple little traction things, some suspension, some different tires. Little things like that, but so far, so good though. Engine looks like it's running good. So we'll get the spark plugs put back in, get the wires hooked back up, get this thing up and running again. Oh, here's another thing I wanted to go over with you guys too is 3,000 miles or just under 3,000 miles on this truck. How well did our $180 eBay turbo hold up? Well, if I can grab a flashlight, which is something I should have grabbed already, but I didn't, you know, because that's how prepared I am. There we go. So got the air filter off, got the air vent off. Also got another little mirror here too, so we can see up on the top side there. But let's see what we can see. So you can see there, we'll get in nice and close here, that there is no marks on our housing. So it does not look like our compressor wheel has made contact with any part of the housing whatsoever, which is really, really good. There is no oil flung around anywhere, which means our oil seal is doing good. And just by sitting here, we'll stick our finger in, it turns nice and free, nice and easy. No issues, no scratching, no binding. Does not feel like we have excessive play. Now, I know a lot of people out there, they grab these turbos first thing out of the box and they want to see how much wiggle they got. All journal bearing turbos are going to have a little bit of wiggle because the oil's got to get up in there. The stem and compressor, all this stuff rides on that thin little oil. And if it was really, really snug or tight, oil wouldn't get up in there for this thing to ride on. So they've all got a little bit of jiggle. It's when they start hitting the compressor housing, you need to start worrying about it. But this one's not hitting the housing. This one doesn't have a hole. This one does not actually, has very little jiggle, but it turns super smooth. So, and I will tell you that this eBay turbo has made 15.5 pounds on this truck on accident, but it has made it, and it did it with no problem. I have it maxed out at it only makes 6 now. I just got it going straight. I got a 5-pound spring in our, that is a Rev 9 60mm wastegate, also from eBay. I used this one on this kit because I have the same one on the Mustang and I have not had an issue with these so far. I just have this reference line from here all the way over to our vacuum manifold there. So 5-pound spring in that wastegate, sees it up at from our manifold there. The max I have pushed this to that with that little step is only 6 pounds. 6.6 pounds is the max I have seen so far. And that seems to do pretty good. Pump gas around here is 93, so yeah, it's definitely enough for this. The engine doesn't make any weird rattles, pings, knocks, or anything like that under a hard load, so seems to be doing pretty good. Spark plugs look good. Cylinder walls look good. eBay turbo looks good. Everything on this truck looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing put back together. We'll fire it up just because I like to hear it. That's all. Nothing more. So I am completely happy with the way all of this turned out. But like I said, get this thing back together. We'll get it fired up. Quick walk around the truck. Listen to it sing a little bit. So I'll be right back in a second. All right, truck is put back together. Plugs are in, plug wires are on. Everything has been pretty much checked out on this truck. It's too bad I messed up, because I would really like to have done the video thing when I cut open the filter and all that stuff. So even did a little science project yesterday too. It was between the wicks and the microguard oil filters. I had talked to some people on the power tour there that asked me how I liked the wicks oil filter. And because apparently on their vehicle, if they ran the wicks, it would show like a slight oil pressure difference between it and any other filter. So I did a little test yesterday too to see whether or not there was a difference on this truck, and there was not. Difference between the microguard and the wicks. They both have the same part number for this truck, or for this pan, which by the way is a eBay LS swap pan, and its filter would be its oil filter number. Let's see if I can get it out of here. Is wicks. See there. So we got 57045. That would be the oil filter number for the eBay LS swap pan. They're like 180 bucks. Just remember that. But anyways, there was no difference for me, so got a wicks back on this thing. Now let's fire this thing up. Hear it sing for a little bit. I really like the way this thing sounds. I also, well, I'll tell you after I shut it off. Good spot for all my stickers. Figured I'd just take all the stickers I've been getting, all the ones I have been saving, and we'll just make a collage on the tailgate of this truck. Plus it saves me from bodywork and paint on that one. Now I thought it'd be kind of cool, but the rest of the truck's gonna get bodywork and paint. water temp's about 132 degrees. Truck's running nice and smooth. Everything is just, I'm extremely happy with how everything turned out on this pickup. And to get me through a power tour, my very first one, with no issues. So this is awesome. I'm stoked. What I was trying to say too is I kind of doing a little internet thing. I don't remember exactly how far back it was I seen it, but if you take like a light film, if you wipe your stainless, your exhaust with WD-40, it'll help it kind of brown a little bit or get that golden color. So you can see the exhaust on this thing is getting a little, it's starting to get the golden color, which is kind of neat. Figured I'd give that a shot, see how that works. Just have fun with it, really. But now, a lot of you out there have heard me say from the beginning of this build, or the beginning of this turbo kit, is I have something really special planned. And that is what I want to do with this kit is I still want to get it on the track. I want to get some times in this truck. But I figure now's a good time to tell you, it's proved itself to make this trip. Is I plan on giving the turbo kit away to one of you guys. Now there is no purchase necessary. This was just a fun kit, something I wanted to do, using factory manifolds, using an eBay turbo, just something I can make. It's just to have fun with it. Really, it's for me to practice with, and I got a lot of practice out of it. Right, got the crossover and all that stuff. It isn't the greatest looking thing in the whole wide world, but so far it is functional. And I've got another set of headers right here. I want to build a whole other turbo kit for it, which is another reason why I left this space right here in the radiator. I want to put the turbo down there, pulling air from front of the grill. So I got the up and forward stainless header, so I can build a whole nother kit. Plan on putting a turbo that just sits right here so it pulls all the air from the front and kick it out my same exhaust exit. So with all that being said, here is what I plan on giving to one of you guys. Of course, we got the manifold, that's going with it. The crossover pipe that goes down under the transmission, up, ties into here. This manifold goes with it, of course. Crossover into our 3-inch elbow here. The straightforward and the turbo. I am gonna keep from this end back, so you'll have to, whoever gets it will have to make their own exhaust exit. And I plan on keeping the wastegate and pipe into the exhaust as well. But you will get both manifolds, the crossover pipe, the elbow, and the eBay turbo will also come with it. So I of course will keep the oil feed and the oil drain. I'll need that for the next build. Something easy, all eBay stuff you can get. You can this is just an eBay -4 AN line kit. That's, and just made my own from an oil feed. Same with the -10 drain. It's all eBay stuff. You can find it easy. So, but like I said, I wanted to have fun with it, wanted to build it, make it, so you'll get both manifolds, crossover pipe, and the turbo is what I plan on giving to one of you guys. Hopefully soon. Like I said, I want to get a couple little things done with this. I want to get both tires spinning. I want to get this to the track, lay down a couple of times on 6 to 10 pounds. I'll find another spring. We'll play around with it. Maybe get one of those manual boost controllers, right? Try to keep all that part simple before giving that turbo kit away. So if that interests any of you guys, make sure to have your notifications turned on. Subscribe if you haven't already, right? Wouldn't want you to miss it. Don't want you to miss up on any upcoming videos as well. I got to get back on the 58. My plan with that is get the transmission, everything move forward, redo the angle of the drive shaft, get that thing moving under its own power soon. Definitely want to get back on the Mustang. We have got, my personal best in that car is 11.1, and I know I can beat it. So we got to get back on that thing. Definitely want to get that thing out to play around with it as well. That is a whole lot of fun, just a Frankenstein of parts, which is why I call it Frankenstein. Also have a project that some of you may have seen, as I'm pulling in and out to the shop, sitting over there underneath the carport, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. I picked that thing up for real cheap, and I want to show it, but it's coming up. When I'm really dedicated, I exactly figure out exactly what it is I want to do with that thing, I will bring it out. But so anyways, that's what I've got for you guys. I'm going to end this one right here. Got to get started on something else. So far, power tour, brought it back, went over it, checked the health, engine's good, everything's good. We're basically good to go. Make sure to hit subscribe if you want to win that turbo kit when I finally give that away. Turn on notifications too, right? Share this with your friends. Leave a comment down below. You guys tell me what you think. But anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of your guys' support. It's all you guys out there that really actually motivate me. So I'm hoping to do the same for you. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on notifications. Share this with your friends. Thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate all your support. I'll catch you on the next one.